spring, the season of budding flowers, longer days, and of magic and whimsy. If you know me, you know that I love celebrating the changing of seasons, especially with sweet treats. So my goal this spring is to bake with all of the beautiful seasonal fruit, flowers, and tea leaves. So come along with me this week and let's do that together. There's nothing quite like a latte, a nice treat, and a cozy book. And my favorite lately has been this rose matcha latte, which actually inspired the flavor of these Madeline cookies, infused with a homemade rose syrup and coated in a thick layer of matcha white chocolate. A few days ago, I made a batch of rose syrup for my morning lattes. It's super simple and really delicious mixed into drinks, but I didn't realize that I can use this in desserts as well, so I'm really excited to try this one. In the background here, I'm melting my butter. And while that does its thing, let's get started on the rest of the batter. The eggs, the sugar, a bit of vanilla, and the rose syrup go into our mixing bowl. And once that's nice and airy and smooth, I'm tossing in the dry ingredients. The flour, baking powder, and salt, giving everything a quick mix before the butter goes in. And that's it. That's the batter done. I like to let this chill and rest in the fridge for about 2 or so hours. And a bit later, they're ready to go into the oven to bake until the madeleines are tall, crispy, and beautifully golden brown. Once they've had a chance to cool down a bit, it's time for my favorite part, the matcha white chocolate shell. Pressing down and watching the melted chocolate fill around each madeleine was so incredibly satisfying. But not nearly as satisfying as this plate of gorgeous madeleines shining in the sunlight. These were so lovely, super buttery and rich, but the hint of sweetness from the rose and the nuttiness of the matcha made this really fun and bright as well. Such a good treat to go along with all of your spring drinks this season. I woke up this morning forgetting that spring also has its gloomy days, but going outside, stomping in puddles, and seeing flower petals sprinkled in glittering raindrops felt particularly magical. And that made me want to bundle up in the kitchen and bake something a bit cozier, but still reminiscent of spring. So, carrot cake cookies sound amazing, but cream cheese stuffed carrot cake cookies sound even better. And I happened to stumble upon this carrot cake cream cheese at the store the other day, so I think it's meant to be. As if this cookie needs to be more decadent, I'm also browning the butter. These golden brown bits add this rich, toasty flavor to the cookies, and it'll also pair really nicely with the earthy sweetness of the carrots and all of the warm spices. Speaking of carrots, this might look like a lot, but I promise it turns out delicious in the end. To the brown butter, I'm adding both sugars, giving that a good mix, along with the egg and vanilla before folding in the flour, baking soda, salt, and the warm spices. For the fun mix-ins, we have the grated carrot, which actually not so fun. But also we have tons of white chocolate chunks, which are more fun. Yay! If there's one thing about me, it's that I love a giant cookie. So for these, I'm using my ice cream scoop here, filling the centers with a frozen cream cheese ball from earlier, and chilling these in the fridge for at least an hour or so before baking them off. These smell absolutely incredible coming out of the oven. Okay, hopefully this makes sense, but as someone who likes carrot cake, but isn't a big fan of cake in general, the flavors in cookie form are so much more comforting and satisfying. The perfect mix of chewy in the middle, crispy around the edges, together with the creamy cheesecake filling, so good. I originally wanted to have these with my typical iced latte, but since it's still raining out, I thought a hot jasmine latte sounded nice. This is another one of my favorite syrups I've been making this season. It's delicately sweet, floral, and almost grassy flavors at such a delightful touch of spring. I recently rediscovered these books at my library's book sale, and I was hit with an overwhelming sense of nostalgia. I'd forgotten how obsessed I was with fairies growing up, and spring just felt like the right time to relive a bit of that magic. As cliche as it sounds, creating whimsy has been my personal motto this year, so this next one is what I think spring would look like as a whimsical dessert. Super light, airy, and bright. If you ever catch me at a cafe during springtime, 9 out of 10 times I'm having a honey lavender latte. I just love lavender. The woodsy floral notes just work so well in sweets and drinks, and they're really fun in the super simple pavlova. They're just egg whites whisked together with lavender sugar, 2 stiff peaks, a touch of cornstarch and food coloring folded in until we have this beautiful pale purple, glossy and smooth meringue. Again, going for whimsical here, and these funky squiggly blobs were really speaking to me for some reason, but just have fun with it. I made little indentations on top to hold the filling and baked these babies off for about an hour. That's literally it. Super simple, super easy. Speaking of filling, a few days ago I put together a batch of velvety homemade lemon curd. Lots and lots of lemon sugar and egg yolks, followed by lots of lemon juice, get cooked together over low heat until it becomes smooth and thick. While it's still hot, melt in some butter, and that's our simple filling. This stuff is so tasty, by the way. Oh, last minute, I felt like something was still missing, so I quickly threw together this whipped vanilla mascarpone cream situation, and finally, let's assemble the pavlova. These are so beautiful. I am absolutely in love with how delicate and how whimsical they turned out. These are also the most fun to eat. I am a big fan of textures, so having the crunchy exterior with the almost marshmallowy center, and then the bright lemon curd with the creamy mascarpone all together is just so tasty. Such a fun and playful and colorful and wonderful dessert. Highly recommend that you try these this spring. To me, the start of berry season marks the beginning of warmth and sunshine. And what better way to celebrate them than atop these wonderful elderberry honey cupcakes. In a large mixing bowl, I placed the flour, more lemon sugar, baking powder, and added the softened butter. Looking for this crumbly sort of mixture before gently stirring in the eggs and the olive oil. As well as some yogurt. And finally, our elderflower syrup. This one, unfortunately, store-bought. And these are ready to go into the oven until they're nice and golden brown. Elderflower has this soft and sweet, citrusy, yet almost musky quality to it that I think would pair really well with honey in a velvety, sweet, rich Swiss meringue buttercream. Starting with egg whites and sugar, I'm placing my bowl over a double boiler and whisking until the sugar fully dissolves. Off the heat, keep whisking to stiff peaks before gradually tossing in the softened butter. Once we have this rich yet airy frosting, in goes the honey. Again, not a huge fan of cakes, and that's specifically because of frosting, but this honey buttercream is the star here. This is so good. I love this stuff. I could eat it by the spoonful. I wanted to really highlight the fruits and flowers on the cupcakes and keep the frosting design super minimal here. And I'm really happy with how they turned out. These were so fun and relaxing to decorate, and again, the buttercream was super rich and luxurious, and that together with the fluffy, delicate elderflower cupcake, such a fun spring treat. That's everything I have for you today. As always, thank you so much for spending time with me. I hope you're enjoying the new season, and I really want to know what you like to do, eat, and drink during this time of year. But yes, I'll see you next time. Bye bye!